Hey guys, Ken from New Gamer Nation here, and we're talking about Killing Floor 2. Guys, you want to introduce yourselves to people who might not be familiar with yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Mike Schmidt. I'm the Senior Marketing Manager at Tripwire.
I'm Jared Creasy. I am the Community Manager.
You guys were so nice to let us have an early access look at the game. It's looking fantastic. For people who are just trying to, come on board with Killing Floor 2 and don't know the origins of the franchise, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about it?
Yeah, well, Killing Floor started off as a mod, and we brought it to retail about 5 years ago, put it out on Steam. People have been asking for a sequel ever since the first one came out, and back in May we finally revealed Killing Floor 2. Going to be bigger, badder, and just much more of what people love about the original game.
Sure. And when we're talking about gameplay, Jared, I mean, can you tell people what to expect as far as weapons, abilities, all that great stuff?
The mantra behind Killing Floor 2's development is bullets, blades, and blood. Pretty much, we want to take those three core concepts from Killing Floor 1, make them better. So we already are known for our great weapons. We took them to the next level. More advanced animations, better motion capture. You can see the wobble in the barrel as bullets go down in Z time. Blood, persistent blood in the entire world. You can paint it red. It's been done. It's fun.
I mean, absolutely. It's a really beautiful world if you like gore and all that kind of stuff that you guys were
beautiful, and then you can
it gets progressively worse than that. Yeah. I mean, we were taking a look at the different weapons. There's katana blades, there's sawed-off, there's regular shotguns like pump action, there's assault rifles.
A lot of people's favorites from the first game are there, and there'll be some new favorites that'll be joining the club.
I mean, and there's some really cool effects there too. I mean, we talked a little bit about like the mocap that you guys have going on for even gun reloading. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, for the sequel, we've just gone kind of balls out on it. I mean, all of the creatures are mocap, all the weapons are mocap. We worked with a guy who trains special forces, for some of the elite reloads and advanced reload options like that as well. So the amount of realism in there is pretty outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, can you talk about that? I mean, we saw a little bit of the tactical reload, and that's a perk, correct?
Yeah. This for the perk system this time around, we really wanted to change that and make it a little bit more user friendly and not so much as kind of grinding up your levels like you did in the first game. So we've got 10 perks now. We've announced 5 so far. So the others will be kind of revealed over the next few weeks and months. We've added something called perk skills. So as you level up your perks, and you can actually level up to 25 now, you're able to make different decisions for different perk skills. And once you kind of choose an option 2, you're not restricted to that option. You can go back and change it and try other settings as well.
And I know one of the things that people sometimes get frustrated with in FPSs is when the story is kind of just shoved at you and a whole big narration, but it seems like you guys are taking a little bit of a different take on that, right?
There was a story in KF1. There wasn't much of one, but it was there. In Killing Floor 2, there's a lot more story, but there's no big narrative. There's no single-player campaign we're going to drive you through. There's going to be elements in the levels. There's going to be elements in the characters, in their bio, in their various outfits, but maybe. And if you go looking for it, there'll be more to see. And we're not going to tell the whole story. We'll know the whole story, but we're going to leave a lot to the player's imagination and see what they come up with.
I mean, the game is really awesome to look at, and all the levels, kind of like you were explaining, Jared, you can go around and kind of see, what makes the Zeds tick, where, dismemberment points and all of that great stuff. Is there anything else that you guys want to highlight about the game that maybe we haven't covered?
Well, we kind of hit upon it a little bit earlier, but just the gore system is something we're extremely excited about, and people seem to really be responding to. I mean, it's the most detailed gore system in a game to date. I mean, we jokingly call it the meat system back at the office for massive evisceration and trauma. I mean, our Zeds now have 19 different dismemberment points, where in the first game there were only 5. So it's incredibly gory. All the blood's persistent, stays there throughout the level. As Jared was kind of saying earlier, you can literally paint the levels red as you're playing. So.
No, awesome. Now, when this game comes out to release, we talked about your special relationship with Steam. Are you planning anything as far as like early access or?
We are looking at doing early access with Killing Floor 2. However, we're going to do it slightly differently. I mean, at our panel yesterday, we asked everybody in the crowd, who here has bought an early access game, and maybe a quarter of them raised their hand. The follow-up question, who here has bought an early access game that they hate? And about 3/4 of the crowd suddenly had their hands up.
Sure. I mean, I think, as a Steam user, when you go to early access, You know, sometimes you kind of expect those games to either be crappy or not be finished and buggy. But I know for you guys, it's really been on your minds that that is not the approach you want to take. You want to have pretty close to a finished game and really just listen to the community, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the plan for us. When when it does go out in early access, we want it to be done, feature complete, from our standpoint, and fun and tuned. I mean, we're actually more interested in getting feedback on just some of the nuances and balancing. I mean, with having 10 perks that level up to 25 and 4 different difficulty levels, there's just so many different iterations of things that a studio of 50, we can check it and get it as great as we think it is, but
Sure.
we just want to hear from fans who actually can get in there and give us some feedback on some of that real fine-tuning.
And you mentioned the difficulty level. I'm a big fan of really difficult games. Jerry, can you talk a little bit about what your hardest difficulty is and how you guys are kind of tweaking that as you go?
All right, currently the hardest difficulty in Killing Floor 2 is Hell on Earth. And what makes Hell on Earth special in Killing Floor 2 is it's not just a numbers game. Zeds just don't have more health. They just don't do more damage to you. They get different. They have different variations to their attacks that you haven't seen before. They have different behaviors in how they approach you. Some of them, like, oh, look, there's a crowd, and you start putting some bullets into it, and suddenly the crowd decides they're going to charge you now. You'll just see various things like this as you go up in the difficulty. So it's not just between beginner and Hell on Earth. As you go up the difficulty levels, you'll just start to see more and more of these behaviors become apparent.
I mean, that's really, a whole new experience. And you guys are making it, I mean, outside of just new experiences, you're making it really difficult, and you're making sure that it's difficult by putting it to the test against your own staff, right?
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, the goal of the tuning is to make that level so hard that no one in the office can beat it. And then, of course, we'll find someone on YouTube who can beat it using just a knife or something like that. But that's always fun, yeah.
If people want to find more information about the game, where can they go?
You can go to tripwireinteractive.com or killingfloor2.com.
Okay, and as far as a release date, do you guys have anything in mind yet?
We have something in mind. We're not ready to talk about it yet.
Well, there you go, guys. Killing Floor 2 here at PAX Prime 2014. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.